Whilst Mo3's impressive versatility on the mic made him one of the most buzzing artists in the Dallas rap scene, he wasn't the only one. Sadly, it's often the case in rap that when two big artists come out of the same city, rather than getting along and lifting their city up musically together, often there emerges a bitter rivalry and battle over the top spot in that respective city. And when it comes to Dallas, the other big name that rings bells in the city is Yella Beezy. Born and raised in Oak Cliff, Dallas, an area with a dark history of murder, with it actually being the area where JFK's assassin Lee Harvey Oswald lived and planned the murder, Beezy would come up in these troubled streets, later telling Adam 22 in a No Jumper interview that he was a troubled kid who couldn't do anything right, until he found his calling in rap music.
So you were getting in trouble a lot while you were young, or?
Yeah, I did.
Anything in particular?
Everything. I was getting kicked out of school like 7th, 8th grade. That's why I feel like the music part was my calling, cause like I couldn't do nothing else. Right, but music at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yella Beezy had it hard coming up too. When he was just age 12, his father was murdered outside their family home on Mother's Day, with him revisiting the scene of that killing in a harrowing 2019 documentary for XXL.
Right here, this is the house when my daddy got killed at. I was 12. I was turning 13 that October. And she was like, something happened to your daddy. Guess crept up behind her, hit him up. And like he was like laying, I think they say he was laying like on his back with his legs up tight. I be replaying that night in my head like all the time. It's like my first time ever just getting out at this motherfucker since then.
As a teenager, after the killing of his father, Beezy got involved in the streets and became affiliated with local Rollin' 60s Crip gangs, another gang originating in Los Angeles and eventually spreading to the streets of Dallas. As he got older, Beezy would end up working in the drug trade to provide for his family after the loss of his father. But since finding his calling in the rap game, he would find an alternative route to the money that his family needed to survive. And at just 13, Beezy would begin rapping after being inspired by Baton Rouge rappers Boosie Badass and Kevin Gates. Yella Beezy would release his first mixtape at just age 14, titled Mash Mode Overload. And in 2012, he would drop his second mixtape, Lil Yella Mane. From here, he would continue grinding and dropping freestyles like this 2014 freestyle on Say Cheese. But he would land his first hit in the rap game in 2015 with the track Trappin' Designer. Beezy claimed in a XXL interview that Dallas is a fashion city, and the concept of a song all about designer clothes appealed to the many fashionable hustlers in the city of Dallas. Trappin' Designer would end up on his 2017 mixtape, Broke Nights, Rich Days. But it didn't come along with a music video, and despite catching a little buzz on Dallas radio and in the clubs, it would be Beezy's next single, That's On Me, that would make him a star in Dallas and the whole of America. Recorded in March 2017 but released in October, Yella Beezy later told Adam 22 on No Jumper that he threw out the song with a basic music video and the city threw their support behind him and the song.
So when That's On Me came out, did you like release it as a single? You knew that was a special song?
I actually just threw it out there because I thought it was another song on my tape that was gonna do it because it had like more of a club energy.
Right, because I was reading about how it kind of popped off on the radio before it popped off on streaming services.
Yeah.
How did that work out? That's very rare now.
It was like everybody was trying to team up or just trying to help each other to get somebody to the next level, you know what I'm saying?
Dallas radio stations would put Yella Beezy's song in rotation, pushing him as the next hometown hero, and this would work. The video for That's On Me Today sits over 20 million views, and the song eventually spent 20 weeks on the Billboard charts, peaking at number 56. Helped in no small part by the all-star remix of the track, which came out and racked up a staggering 272 million YouTube views, with the remix of the track coming along with verses from the likes of 2 Chainz, T.I., Rich the Kid, Jeezy, Boosie, and another emerging local talent relevant to this story, Trapboy Freddy. Trapboy Freddy has become a Dallas rap icon in his own right, growing up with an affiliation to a Dallas gang by the name of DF Dub.
Speak on DF Dub, man. How did that form? How old was you?
I was like 14 then. DF Dub, down for whatever AK, don't do it. You know what I mean? They were everything up for.
Freddy was truly a trap boy from a young age, apparently opening up his first trap house at just 14 years old and making $500,000 from the streets before even becoming a serious rapper.
My name Trap Boy. I started calling myself Trap Boy when I was 14, got my first spot.
Well, how much money do you think you accumulated over the years by hustling?
I would have saved all of it. I had about $500,000 by now.
And Freddy is a close friend of Yella Beezy. In fact, still his biggest song to date is his appearance on the remix of Yella Beezy's monster hit That's On Me. But don't be fooled, Trapboy Freddy has carved his own place in the Dallas rap history books too. First coming to prominence off the back of a series of mixtapes, kicked off in 2016 with the release of Fourth Quarter on the 4th of July. A project coming with an impeccable cover art where Freddy's face is superimposed on a giant pile of cocaine being poured from a brick onto a scale. I can't lie, that's probably one of the best cover arts that I've ever seen for a drug dealer rapper. Now that project featured appearances from both Yella Beezy and Boosie Badass on the track Mind Your Business, a drug dealing anthem where Trapboy Freddy and Boosie would tag team the mic with aggressive bars about slinging dope in their hoods and telling nosy folks to mind their business. Clearly music or trapping was working out for Freddy because he would be seen interviewed on Say Cheese 2 days after that tape's release, flexing what he says was $80,000 in jewelry. Freddy's first mixtape was followed by Overtime in July 2017, with that followed by Trapboy Freddy Krueger 3 in February 2018. And this project would feature one of Freddy's biggest songs, the posse cut 6 Pick, featuring 6 local artists, Trapboy Freddy, Yella Beezy, Lil CJ Casino, Lil Ronnie, Sleazy Beezy, and another name important to this story, Go Yayo. Hailing from Fort Worth, Texas, Go Yayo was first introduced to the world as a rapper in January 2014, uploading the music video for his track Don't Trip to YouTube. A strong debut, using auto-tune to make melodic raps about his life, packing pistols, trapping and making money. He'd go on to make mixtapes like No Mo Free Yayo, the hard-hitting street track Boom in November 2015, the stick-toting anthem Damn It Man, and his tape Super Saiyan Yayo in 2016. This featured the track Me with Mo Free, and in fact Go Yayo was originally friends with Mo 3, working alongside him numerous times. Go Yayo and Mo 3 would be seen on Facebook together as early as December 2015, with Go Yayo even being invited to perform with Mo 3 and Young Dolph at a December 2015 show at Onyx. Now some people suggested that there was some tension brewing between these two's crews on stage, with some fans pointing out that it looked suspiciously like Go Yayo and his team were trying to nudge Mo 3 off the stage, with Mo 3 eventually leaving the stage with his manager. Some would suggest that this moment was the true beginning of tension between these two crews, with Mo 3 feeling disrespected about how he was treated on the stage. But regardless, Go Yayo clearly wanted the limelight for himself, and through into 2016 he would continue dropping videos for more tracks like I Don't Know, but even by April 2016, Go Yayo was still getting booked to perform at shows alongside Mo 3 and Boosie. He would continue to carve a name out for himself in the city, dropping aggressive bangers like the track Boom God. However, Go Yayo would soon become a celebrity in Dallas for reasons beyond his rap, because in May 2016 he would randomly pop up, apparently without permission, speaking at a middle school.
See, I dropped out of school. I was actually the kid that dropped out of school. I feel like it's the worst thing I ever did, because once I was like 14, not going to school no more. Once I'm looking at everybody, I'm bored at the house. Like, where everybody at? Because I'm hanging with the older kids. Like, all my home was at. You know where they was at? School.
And it's funny because almost by accident, in this impromptu middle school speech, we kind of get an insight into Go Yayo's early life, dropping out of school and hanging out with the older kids in the streets. He really is trying to give these kids a lesson and tell them how not to make certain mistakes that he did. He goes on to tell the kids that they need an education to get money, and that choosing the streets was the worst thing that he did, and all he wants to do is make his mother proud.
I'm talking about, you can't get no money not going to school. You gotta go out to school, get a job. You gotta do all that, go to college, live life, have fun. I chose the streets, and it was the worst thing I did. I got shot when I was 14. My cousin got smoked, and it's just, I made a bunch of bad decisions. When I chose to rap, it saved my life. Now I got money, cars, I can do what I want to. But I really wish I went to school, because my mama can't, your mama not gonna be proud of you in the streets going to jail, going or die or something like that. Your mama can't be proud of that.
Yayo would even go as far as to disavow guns and violence in his music, explaining it as just an image.
Other than that, like, the streets not where it's at. I know y'all heard a lot of my songs, y'all see guns and hear me saying a lot of gang stuff and all that. But that's just an image we gotta put on, because, you know, I'm a rapper. So we gotta, you gotta flex a little bit. But I want y'all to know I'm just humble. I'm 19. I'm supposed to be out of high school 2 years ago. We'll see where I'm at right now. And then you little boys, y'all stay in school, play sports or something. You ain't gotta be no thug, you ain't gotta be no gangster to be cool.
Now I personally think there was a pretty good message in there, but some of the locals didn't agree, which to be fair might have had something to do with the fact that at the end of the speech he got all of the kids to chant Hood Fame Gang.
On the count of 3, on 3 we gonna say Hood Fame, gang. 1, 2, 3. Hood Fame, gang! Now on 3 we gonna say stay in school on 3. 1, 2, 3. Stay in school! Gang.
Soon after this, naturally, Go Yayo found himself in hot water on the local news.
By the sounds of it, you'd think this was the start of a concert. But what you're seeing in these YouTube videos was actually a pep rally for the STAR test at Morningside Middle School in Fort Worth. And this was the man hyping up the kids, a local rapper named Go Yayo.
And you not people, almost as if he time traveled there through some sort of enchanted backwards. None other than Charleston White popped up on the news to complain about Go Yayo corrupting the local youth.
Still in awe, I'm still in shock.
Charleston White and Jesse Taylor, who run a local mentoring nonprofit, are amongst those calling foul on Fort Worth ISD.
I done got shot when I was 15. My cousin was murdered all over this rap stuff.
Wondering why the school would bring this person to speak to middle schoolers.
Very distasteful, very extremely distasteful. And someone should be held accountable.
I'll be honest, I was researching this video, I was not expecting Charleston White to pop up, so that had to go in there, but we will be seeing a lot more from him as this story goes on. Anywho, Go Yayo clearly didn't have it easy growing up. He came up in a Crip-affiliated neighborhood, with death being a common sight even as a child.
Yeah, I'm from Southside, Crip neighborhood. I done seen, like, my cousin got smoked in my face.
Your cousin got killed right in front of you?
Right next to me.
With him later telling DJ Vlad in an interview that he was actually facing 20 years for attempted murder at the young age of 18, ultimately being lucky enough to finesse it down to a lesser charge. With this 100 IQ legal move apparently being the result of a relationship that he was having with a much older woman who was a top dog lawyer.
They gave you a plea deal of 20 years.
20 years. I was going with this grown woman. I was 18. I was going with a woman that was 31. She went and got me. He tried to conquer it for a word type. My lawyer got it dropped down from attempted murder to deadly conduct.
Okay, so you had to accept that.
Signed for a year, got out.
Ultimately, Dallas was a dangerous city with an underworld of gang conflict that many young men had been sucked into at a young age. But fortunately, as Go Yayo said in his middle school speech, rap has given these young men a way out, rapping to make money and make their mothers proud, getting them out of the dangerous situations that they were forced to be around growing up. But sadly, as this story plays out, we'll see the sad consequences of the city's biggest rappers coming out of gangs, because even with fame and fortune, the squabbles between these Texas titans of raps would continue on, with each artist getting bigger in the rap game and getting more wealthy, but ultimately having much more to lose.